Alana is a commercially astute and diplomatic leader with remarkable knowledge of business turnaround and optimization at a global level. Recognized as a catalyst for building high-performance teams and enriching company values, leadership, optimizing resources, and leveraging stakeholders and opportunities with exemplary results. Confident and motivating, a public speaker with a global client base and network. Extensive experience across the African continent, ladies and gentlemen, Alana James and the affair that changed my life.
I'm having an affair. Until now, I've kept it secret. Unlike the relationship I have with my husband, this one is confusing. After each encounter, I'm left feeling devastated. I've been in this relationship for a long time. Many of you know him. His name is failure. My relationship with failure started young. My father, yes, father, not dad, we didn't have that kind of relationship. To the outside world, he was a great guy, generous, fun, family man. To us, quite the opposite. I'm so proud of my kids, he would say. Don't be fooled. It wasn't because he believed in our unlimited potential. It was because he believed we were better than everyone else. Charity begins at home was his motto. And he reminded us that no good deed is worth doing if you're not getting something in return. To me, he was the embodiment of failure. Failure as a dad, failure in kindness. But I learned a fundamental lesson that I could be surrounded by failure, even related to it, but I don't have to absorb it. I don't have to become the failure around me. And my relationship with failure changed over the years. I presented to a group of medical experts my strategy on how we could use the developments in genetics to help patients in need of a transplant find a life-saving donor. And further than that, we could work with researchers in genetics and ancestry profiling, and we could even tell you where in the world we could possibly find that matching donor. At the end of my presentation, the most senior doctor in the room spoke, and three things hit home. This won't work. It's a needle in the haystack, and you're not even a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm a strategist. And yes, my strategy might be a needle in a haystack, hugely improved from what we have now, where that life-saving needle in that haystack is currently sitting in a barn full of haystacks. Imagine if we knew which haystack to look in. Should I have studied medicine? Without a medical degree, does my strategy become irrelevant? If I don't want to be a doctor, am I an imposter? Have I failed at being the best version of me? This was the conversation failure kept going in my head. But together, we came to a conclusion. If I'm not expecting a 70-plus-year-old doctor to think as an innovative strategist, why would I want to be something I'm not? Have you ever had one of those experiences that just changed your life? I'm away on holiday with family and my phone rings. It's a mum of two little boys, the youngest, 4 months old. He's diagnosed with blood cancer. There's no medication and no treatment. His only chance of survival is a life-saving transplant, but he has no donor, not a single match in the entire world. Her last words to me on that call: he doesn't have much time. Please help me save my son's life. The gravity of those words, I felt like an ice sculpture that was plummeting into a volcano. 2 weeks later, no successful outcome, no matching donor, no medical miracle. The devastation. He was gone. I felt like I had failed this potential life. For months, this was too much to deal with. And then I sat quietly with failure. And in that moment of contemplation, I realized that In these efforts to save lives, even though unsuccessful, the strategies and innovation we'd scrambled together had led to some firsts for Africa. It changed the thinking within our teams and shifted the conversations globally to help patients get a second chance at life. I hated failure. I thought he was cold and cruel, but he didn't just leave me beaten and broken in that moment. He also led me to thinking that maybe without him, I wouldn't have achieved this. And this was the tipping point in our relationship when I realized, like all of us, failure has more to offer than what we see at face value. What if you could see the failures of your peers, your business, your competitors, not as failures, but as insights to opportunities for you to be better, for your business to be successful? Imagine if what you consider to be your failure or missed opportunities was actually the thing that set you apart and gave you the added advantage. Now imagine if what you think is your greatest failure in your deepest, darkest crisis led you to the kind of thinking that could change the world. Opportunities are around us every day, often disguised. Don't mistake them for failure. With a little innovative strategy and a shift in perspective, we can create a culture of winning. My name's Alana. Connect with me and let's build your relationship with success.